So it all started with a dream, call it an idea, a passing one. What's different is it took the boldness of one young man, of course with the help and support of his 3 friends, and your vision to see Accra become the hub of one of Africa's biggest, art festival center. And of course that birthed the Afrochella story. But just how much do you know about that story? Well, meet the Afrochella Boys. All right, so gentlemen, you're welcome. I don't know, I'm seeing new faces because I'm more used to Kenny and DZ. I think I've heard a little bit about this young man, but I don't know much about you. So yeah, that's the whole point of this conversation. But you're welcome. It's my first time having a conversation with 3 of you together. I understand there are 4 of you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's awesome. We can do 3 and it's fine. So we're going to get into the famous Afrochella story, but first we want to get into your personalities. We want to get to know the personalities behind this big arts festival. And so I'm going to start with you because I want to know much more about you.
I'm ready. Okay.
Right. So what's your name?
My name is Abdul Kareem Abdullah.
Right. You?
Vernell Champon.
Vernell
Yeah.
Champon. Right.
Don't ask me where it came from.
I will ask you. And you?
Kenneth Japon Jr.
Okay, so I know him already, so yeah. But how will you describe yourself, Abdul?
Whew, wow. I would say I'm a fun person. I like music. I like arts. I like to cook.
Oh, you like to cook?
I do like to cook.
Okay.
But only for special people,
Like, not even me?
No, of course,
guest?
I cook for you.
Okay.
But I cook for my family mostly and my friends.
Right.
I think it's a great way to gather your people around over a meal and talk. So I would describe myself as somebody who is fun, curious, joyful.
Right, Vernell.
I think I'm the creative. You know what I mean?
You're the
So,
what?
the creative.
Okay.
So I'm more like a deep thinker, like ideas about like visions of how like art and different parts of like culture
Right.
could be represented. So, yeah.
And you, Ken?
Outgoing and serious at the same time.
Obviously the party person as well.
Not really. Actually,
Good morning,
like
good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. What a time to be alive.
Time to be alive.
Right, so 3 of you are buddies, no? You're
Yes.
friends. How did you meet?
Oh, wow.
Just,
We all
We all go in the Bronx together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we all
grew
met
up
at
together,
different
yeah.
parts of our lives. I would say, Kenny and I met when he was younger, but we officially started connecting when he became a part of my fraternity.
Phi Beta Sigma
Sigma,
fraternity.
Part of what? A fraternity?
Yeah,
All right.
we're brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. DZ, he's not here, but him and I, we went to junior high school here in Accra together since we were kids. Vernell and I met in college. Kenny and I met when he was younger in the Bronx, but also in college for sure. We connected a lot more when he was joining the fraternity. And baby, we went to what was it, like I think class 6 in JSS together before I went back to the US.
Right. Vernell?
Yeah, same thing. Like, we kind of like grew up in the Bronx. We all came up together. So, when we all moved down to Ghana, we linked up. Funny enough, like it was before Afrochella, we met a Bamboo, my spot.
Yeah.
So like, everybody came together and just like, this is where we are right now. Yeah.
Right, so for Kenny, a little birdie whispered to me that you bake the best cookies in the world.
Yeah.
And I asked him to help me put some respect on his name as a baker by baking us some cookies, and he did not, unfortunately.
Oh.
So I guess we'll never know.
No, it's funny because baking is actually my first business I started.
Right.
I used to bake in high school. But unfortunately today I was like, don't worry, I'll send some cookies to the office for you.
Yeah, no, you should. But I want to hear more about that business idea, that cookie business idea you were talking
Oh, it's
about. How did it
interesting
start?
because it just started because of 2 things. I had asked my dad for some shoes. It's called Maury's. It's like leather, and then the tip of it right here is alligator skin.
Right.
And he said it, I'll say it in tree. He said, oh, I was like, oh, Daddy, I want some Maurice. That shoe was $285 for the low top. And he was like, Namate, I sing for Suma, share Papa until 16. He was like, when he was younger, he didn't wear a shoe until he was 16. So why should he buy me shoes for $285? I'm like, okay, no problem. So like 5 days later, I was walking to school with two of my friends, and it was a guy. We got off the bus, and that time in high school, you have to leave your phone at a store. They give you a ticket, then you go into school. So it was a guy and his girlfriend, or somebody. It was a guy and a lady. They was arguing in the car, and the lady got out the car and threw money.
Okay.
Like hundreds everywhere flying. Like literally everywhere. So the other people got off the bus and it was going, and so we ran to get the money. So I took 900. Right after school, I bought the shoes. Right after school, I bought the Maurice. I was like, wow, this feels good. Stepping in the Maurice. The next day I come to school, Maurice. Oh, how can I keep this up?
Yeah.
Then I was, that time was no Google. It was Google, but it wasn't famous, Yahoo. Then I was looking up how to bake cookies, like literally. So then I searched it and I tried it. Then I asked my mom to, she could help me. Then for a month, I was baking the cookies, giving out for free in school.
Okay.
A sample, let them, everybody was, this is good, this is good. Like, this is gonna work. So then I started baking it, 3 cookies for $1. Then I'm like, I got the people.
Right.
Now let me reduce it.
Right.
Make 2 cookies and make it smaller so they'll buy more. So then I just started, so I did it for 3.5 years in high school. So every day I was making $75. So then...
Oh, that's good money.
Yeah, so then after that, buying Gucci,
it was just 14.
Pradas. I'm sorry?
It was just 14.
Yeah, just 14, yeah.
So it's fair for me to say that thanks to your love for sort of the high life, it sort of...
But now right now I'm feeling Joe's. It's nice.
Right.
But I think that's how I have more passion to do business and whatnot. I just started real young. Right. I wanted to be a scientist, but I failed chemistry, so that was out. So then I had to find a plan B. But thank God the plan B worked.
Right, right. That's an interesting story. And for those of you, he kept on saying his dad. For those of you who do not know, he's the son of Honorable Kennedy Japan. We'll get into that. But I want to delve into growing up for you guys and how that has sort of shaped the men you are today. I'm going to start with you, Abdul. I want to tell us a little bit about growing up.
Oh yeah, so in '95, my father sent us back to Ghana. He wanted us to really get a feel of his culture. I lived in Medina in '95.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was 7.
Okay.
So it was my first time in Ghana. I didn't know anything about Ghana. I didn't even know the family I had here. My grandmother then had a house in Medina, so we would stay there in Medina sometimes. My other brother stayed in what was in North Carnation, so we would go back and forth between both of the houses. So living in Ghana was interesting. I got to go to school here as well. I met some people. It was very different from going to school in the U.S. And I can remember vividly, I really didn't like it because I felt like I was being punished. My family wasn't here, my mom, some of my siblings weren't here. We couldn't go to the corner store and get cookies or ice cream like that, So it was a really, we really got to immerse ourselves into Ghana. And in hindsight, that was one of the best and most consequential experiences I've ever had because it taught me so much about what I do today, and I can appreciate it now that I can be in any part of Ghana and I feel very comfortably at home. So I often, I think it was 2 years ago, I really thank my dad for him, making that decision for us at that time. In 2001, I returned back to the U.S., started junior high school, went to high school. My parents own a restaurant in New York City called the Accra Restaurant. We fed a lot of presidents. Yeah, Accra Restaurant. We fed a lot of presidents in the past and a lot of dignitaries. We've had that business for about 36 years now. A very big staple of Ghanaian food in the U.S. And we worked at the restaurant. My dad, he wasn't into spoiling us. He really wanted us to kind of be able to kind of like really appreciate what it was to work. Because when he came to the U.S., there weren't any African restaurants in the Bronx. He was one of the first to actually open that kind of business there. So we worked for him until I couldn't wait to leave. I went to Syracuse University. It was about 4 hours away from New York City, and the rest is history. I think in college is when I started to kind of get, at that time I had been away from Ghana for some years, and I started to get the longing to want to come back, to want to reconnect, back, because that's when you start to realize your identity and identify yourself as a person in the community, and what does that mean for you. So that's when I started coming back to Ghana. Kenny was actually, finishing college. He also moved back to Ghana. He decided to come here and work as well. And, we wanted our opportunity to bring more people from the U.S., because when we came to Ghana, it was the in it people, like all the people from London, and, they were taking over. And we wanted to, bring some of our friends from the U.S. and give them an opportunity to kind of see the beauty of our country as well. So pretty much that's my story. I think in a nutshell. I've skipped a lot of years, but there's a little
I
bit
guess
of
you have a lot to be grateful to your dad for as well. Vernell?
I think my story is a little different. What you call it? I grew up like as a creative. I've always been a creative, but like I had like.
When you say you're a creator, what exactly do you create?
So creative as in like, just a creative. I'm an artist, right?
Okay.
So I think about.
As a musician?
Not music, like art as in life.
Okay.
You know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, but I grew up in a typical Ghanaian home where my father's an engineer, my mom's like working in Makola, doing her thing. So I was forced to be like an engineer. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, like okay, cool, I can do it. So I tried my best. I was like, yo, failing most of my classes, but yes, I did get my degree and I finally passed it, right? But then I always had this urge to also still be an artist, right? Or create certain things or work with certain things around the creative field. So I ended up, funny stories, like when I was even in high school, I used to cut hair. Right? So I was a barber. That's also another form of like creating, trying to feed into that energy. So when I moved back to Ghana, Abdul linked up, Kenny linked up, and everybody was out here, and I was like, oh wow. So Abdul came up with the idea, was like, yo, let's do these events and stuff. I was like, yo, I'm down. I mean, so whatever efforts that I could put on there, I'm with it.
Right. So Kenny, quickly.
Well, I moved here. My parents kept telling me, come to Ghana. I actually came to Ghana in 1997. Then I went back. 2001, I came back. 2011, I'm like, hey, this is what's going on in Ghana. Because the whole time I thought my parents are broke. Like, hey, Ghana's nice. But I went back to the U.S. to finish school. Then 2014, after grad school, two of my classmates were Chinese, so they moved to Ghana. I'm like, what they come to do in Ghana? They was like, oh, their parents are here. So I'm like, so I came with them in June 2014. Then I went back. I'm like, if they don't speak the language, they don't speak nothing, it was their first time here. But if they could do it, I could come. So then I went back to the US, put all my things in my car, and I told my dad, oh, I'm coming to Ghana, I'm going to move. He said, okay. Then I moved here October 2014.
Okay.
Then that December, everybody was in Ghana too. So like, you know what? Oh, this is nice. We was having fun. Then 2015, I came up with that, let's have an event. Did an event December 26, 2015 at Shiny Beach, Nungwa. Flopped. Even the main artist didn't show up.
You know what? We're gonna get into that story. You know, he was telling me about the story earlier, and I couldn't help. I had to actually control myself because I really wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. But if I should take a trip down your lives, right? Would I be so surprised you're doing what you're doing today?
For me, maybe.
Is there a link?
For me, maybe. I mean, I've always, in America, they have these things they put in the neighborhood every now and again, carnivals. And, you can ride different rides or different activations. Maybe you could throw a ball and then somebody falls in the tank or you win prizes. I've always, dreamed of creating something like that since I was a kid. I've always loved that. But I went to school to become a doctor, right? So my degrees are in psychology and biology. I have a master's in public health. I've always worked in the health field for different pharmaceuticals. You have a master's
in public health?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I've always dreamed of becoming a doctor. But then, in college, I started doing more planning of events and more organizing, more public speaking. And I started to just develop a passion for that. Now, I still work in the health field. I still work in that space. But, my heart, my whole spirit was drawing more towards developing something that connected me back to Africa. And for me, Afrochella was that draw for us, right? Eventually it took that toll, but everyone that knows me probably would have expected me to become a doctor by now. But I do have a public health, a master of public health, and I do plan to make some waves also in the health field eventually.
Yeah,
but
I was
for
about
right
to
now,
ask you that.
Yeah, for right now, we're focused on what we're doing here,
Afrochella.
building it. Yeah.
Right. Kenny, so you were born to a very famous politician father. And
He wasn't always the politician.
right, he was a businessman as well.
exactly,
I know that. But for the most part, he was a politician.
Like past 24 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And I want to find out how his life as a famous person influenced or affected your life.
I actually never did until about 3 or 4 years ago when I went on TV with him. Nobody knew me.
Okay.
I'm just like the kid of, we have a food truck and I'll be in front of Twist selling burgers. I'm like, I mean, I don't really care.
Right.
I'm walking around a Mokola trying to sell beef or chicken. So it didn't matter. But then 3 or 4 years ago, I went on a TV show with him. And I was like, so they was like, oh, that's your dad. So then, and everyone's like, wow, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, why? Because I'm like, oh, your dad is Honorable Ken Japon and you work it. I'm like, so I'm not supposed to work. I'm supposed to be home,
Right.
just chilling and whatnot. But I think it influenced me in a way, like when I was younger, he would say, oh, you have to work hard, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. So I think that helped. And when I was about like 16, he was like, oh, you have to wake up early. If you wake up early, you can start planning things. So now consistently, like, even if you go out or not, like 4:30, 5 o'clock, the ladies, I'm up. So that horizon helped. I guess I should say that, yeah.
But now people getting to know who you are, the son of this person. How has that also influenced you?
I'm still the same Kenny. I don't go around like, oh, my dad is Honorable Kenny Japon. Because I use the example as if I'm in America, nobody's gonna say the dad is Honorable
It's only
Kenny
in
Japon, so
Ghana,
what?
obviously.
Exactly. So I'm like, I don't let it get to my head at all. Like,
But do you share? I mean, he's quite a controversial, man. Do you share some similarities with him in
Like
terms of
like what, the blasting and all that?
yeah,
Oh,
in
yes.
terms of character?
Well, sometimes, yes. I'm real calm and cool, but
You're
you
wild.
got- Exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
nah.
wild. He's been wilding, especially on social media. But aside the festival, obviously that's something that you collectively help with. What do you do individually aside the festival? Let me start with you, Renal.
So I'm a contractor. I'm a civil engineer by profession.
Civil engineer.
Yes, I am.
Makacho mse mon take so.
Me pacho me a civil engineer. So, I mean, yeah, that's my trade. That's what I do. So, I mean, I also have a lot of passion in it. I mean, so I still do a lot of like different projects around construction in Ghana.
Right.
Abdul, even the first time we met, when Abdul came to Ghana, we were staying at, I have this also thing called Bamboo House, which is a vacation rental for work people.
Number one Airbnb.
Give it to me.
Right.
Number one Airbnb.
so-
Ghana.
He really is the number one.
one.
So,
Right.
when a lot of people come to Ghana, most of the diasporas that come to Ghana, I'm hosting
You
them
hook
right now.
them
So
up.
even right now, when I'm looking at my phone, there's somebody checking in
Business,
right now.
right.
So it's like a lot of people coming from outside. When they come outside, they stay at my place. So that's what I do: real estate and civil stuff.
Right, Abdul.
Yeah. So by trade, I'm a project manager. As I mentioned before, I used to work for the #1 cancer hospital in the world. I don't want to say their name, but I used to work for them. If you Google them, you'll find them.
Okay.
I was a project manager for them. I used to manage 6 centers, and my job was to bring in any other pharmaceutical companies to come and run feasibilities into their office. And right now, I work for a pharmaceutical company, one of the top pharmaceutical companies, and I manage cancer trials. I manage sites over 200 sites in 80 countries around the world. So it's those project management skills that I've used to kind of develop, our project here around the festival as well.
Right.
So, yeah, that's my
It's
profession.
working. It's safe to say it's
He said
working.
he's still doing that now. Like,
What?
He's still doing it now.
Okay.
So here, so,
Right.
which is
So we all have real jobs.
Yeah.
doing Afrochella, so you can only imagine how much
I see.
effort
I
it's
see.
going
You,
into it.
Kenny?
Well, I work for the #1 entertainment media house, Kent City Media.
Right.
I'm on FM, Net 2, Ash FM, Nap Radio, and online. And then, well, a lot A lot of people don't know I really do. I actually sell chicken on the side.
Yeah, I know, actually.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, I run cold
You know, the
stores.
first time you gave me your number,
Yeah.
I saved it,
Fisherman's
and it was a
Markets.
business account. And then I checked the catalog, and it's fish, and I'm like, wait, hold up, did he give me a wrong number or something?
No, it's not a catfish.
You know,
But I
yeah.
can sell you catfish. So yeah, I run
Right.
cold store as well too. So like fish, chicken, like poultry and whatnot. Yeah.
Right, awesome stuff. So, who amongst you? Okay, before I even ask that question, in terms of family, I'm talking nuclear family. Are you guys married? Are you single? Are you engaged? Are you hooked?
I'm taken.
You're taken, huh?
Yeah.
I know you have twins. Your
I have
father.
twins, yes.
Tell me about that experience.
I think it's cool. Like they are the budget.
Yeah.
It's not all about money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that experience, I mean,
No,
what
it's
is-
good.
Right.
Because I feel like I have like maybe like 3 personalities. Like when I'm with my kids, when I'm at work, and I'm with the guys. So like,
Right.
there's time and place for everything.
Awesome. You? So you're married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's married, ladies.
I'm trying to get like him, you know, honestly and truly. I'm trying to find a wife and have some kids as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You?
I mean, we all try to get like him. Exactly. So I mean, obviously, you start a family, you have a wife. You know what I mean? Have some kids. I mean, because every time I see Kenny, only on his close friends, like Kenny's enjoying his kids, and I'm like, damn, like I want that too. So it's like, it's
So
beautiful.
since we're looking for potential wives, what do you look out for in a woman?
I mean, I feel like a lot of women,
And
right?
please don't be diplomatic with me.
Too much.
Yeah, be yourself. Yeah.
I feel like I mean for me personally it's support, you know what I mean, because like especially with us, like the things that we do, we always come back stressed. There's a lot of stress that we go through, so for me it's support, you know what I mean?
Support.
Yeah, with anything that, that's
Nothing
it.
physical,
Else.
nothing.
You forget that one.
Okay.
Support.
Support,
Yeah, that's
right.
for me.
Support in terms of
Everything.
finance,
Not
whatever?
finance. So I'm just, I mean, it could be
Emotional
but
support
I'm just saying, like,
and ideas.
support. You know what I mean,
Okay.
period. You know what I mean, I
Okay.
think it's like it's pretty whole.
Yeah. He sounds a little bit vague with the support thing, but please break it down for me
Break it down.
in case you use that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what he means by support is really partnership. I think that,
exactly.
you know, partnership is a very, very big part of any relationship. If you're with a woman that can motivate you and she's a hustler in her own right, she has her own thing. You know, the businesses that we run, you know, I have a job, we run a business as well. It can be very demanding of our time. So, you know, if you have a wife that also wants a lot of your time, it can be conflicting. And also, because of the business that we run, there's a lot of interfacing with women. So if your wife is jealous, that's a problem for you as well. You know, so definitely for me, it's just kind of, you know, I need somebody I could talk to that's, you know, intelligent, that's going to teach me something as well. You know, I think a modern day relationship is very important. You know, our parents have done what they've done, and you know that was their experience in their time. We're living in 2022. You know, women are the highest paid. They're very intelligent. So having someone that's gonna be able to help you level up is very, very important to me as well.
All right, ladies, you're listening. A tall list of things, but yeah. What do you guys share in common? What significant thing do you guys share in common?
Oh, we work
Don't
hard.
tell me about the festival.
Everybody works hard.
We're hungry.
Everybody is
Right.
a hard worker. Yeah, we're not. You know, we all have pretty good jobs outside of the festival. We all have businesses outside of the festival, and we all have family that have done well. But we are not those spoiled kids,
Right.
that you know that don't understand the value of work. We work consistently. Even before this interview, I thought you were going to beat me up because I was on calls before this.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, honestly and truly, from 6 a.m. to the time I close my eyes, it's calls, it's emails, it's nonstop, and I enjoy it. I mean, honestly and truly, that's my best self when I'm like actually able to work and get my work done at that and accomplishment. So I would say, from me, my perspective.
No, I think it's definitely true because like we're just hungry. Like literally, we speak to each other every single day. So like we're literally hungry and we can't give up. And the sky's the limit. I know it sounds cliche, like sky's the limit, but like
Yeah.
I always say like we didn't start from zero. So if we started this at 50, try not to get to zero. Move up and bring people with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about your fashion sense. And I'm looking at Vernell because I love your color, the color of what you're wearing.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's talk about that.
It's called mauve.
Mauve, huh?
Mauve by
So tell me
Kevin.
about your fashion sense.
I mean, for me, I'm like I said to myself, and I was even telling the boys, I was like, yo, it doesn't make sense for us to even be buying these foreign clothes no more. We have amazing talents in the country that are doing amazing. So, for instance, Kethem, which is a clothing line that is in-house that we're also doing, is amazing what we're doing out there, too. So, it's like, that's me. Like,
Okay.
I'm local, so it's for me. This is what I like. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I just like to feel comfortable in my own skin. I feel like I have my own sense of fashion. Everything you see me wearing, I design myself. You know what I mean? You know, this guy, we got Kethem right here. You see the gold leaf?
How you pulling
know
my
what I
shirt like that? See me pulling your shirt?
Right? So, you know, I really want to feel comfortable. I like to challenge myself. I'm probably not going to do something that's way out of the box, but I am going to do something that makes me feel very comfortable, that represents me in every sense of the word. You know, yeah, I would say that's how I take my fashion sense. I'm not like, you know, I like fly stuff. You know, I do like designer. You know, but I like to style it in my way, and I'm comfortable with that. You know, definitely. These days, I'm putting a lot more African-made brands into my wardrobe because I want to transition into kind of making my own clothes, you know, pushing our own brands in that way as well.
And I guess with Kenny, you have a lot of alligator skin shoes and...
Not really, actually. It's funny because it was about like a couple of weeks ago, I traveled with my parents, and it was now that you're working, you don't buy expensive shoes anymore. But like the rest of the guys said, we actually started in-house clothing line called Kethem. So like
Kethem.
Kethem. So
Okay.
check it out, Kethem, Ketthem on Instagram and .com. So like literally like all the clothes, besides usually like all the clothes we wear is from Kethem, like except these jeans, because today I was selling chicken, so I had to wear jeans. We wear jeans, need to wear something comfortable. You can't wear like a kaftan. Like, hey, I'm selling chicken.
Okay.
So but like V said, like I think we need to promote. Definitely made in Ghana, African wear. Like
Honestly.
Phil and Joe have about 46 pairs of their shoes. So like we just
Say
need
it again, Kenny.
46 pairs
Boom.
of their shoes, all made in Ghana. So I think
Right.
that's what we're trying to push. Made in Ghana as well too.
Why do I
Support.
feel like you're selling me that story because you've been made ambassadors now?
No, not really. But
No,
if you check,
no.
the ambassador thing just happened. If you check on my Instagram page,
You can tell.
AGY. If you check on my page, like literally.
Yeah, as a businessman.
Literally everything. Mostly, let's say like 85% of what I wear is like made in Ghana. Literally, yeah. So it's not, but because of being ambassador, which is a plus. But we have a lot of good talent here, and we need to
Amazing
push
talent.
it.
Yeah.
We need to push it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're wrapping up our first part, but to do that, I want to ask Vernell first. What's the most expensive fashion item you have in your
Wow.
closet?
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie.
Truthful.
I'm being truthful, right? I'm not the biggest, like I was saying, I'm not the biggest on like fashion brands, like the bigger brands and stuff like that. Like I said before, I'm a creator, so I always try to create my own, right? So I'll probably say maybe these slippers, right? So I was like, first time I bought these slippers, I was like, oh wow, I was spending $800 on shoes.
Okay.
That was crazy to me at that time, but I mean, yeah, I'll probably say that. I spend more money on not fashion per se, but definitely other things that I'm in love with.
Airbnb, I guess.
To be honest, I'm not going to answer that question. It's going to become a headline.
Why? Because it's really
Yeah,
expensive.
it's really expensive, so I'm not going to say. But I would say that I like sneakers a lot.
So definitely, it has something to do with sneakers.
Yeah, I have a pretty expensive shoe in my closet. A couple
Right.
of shoes in my closet that cost that much. I have a couple T-shirts that cost pretty expensive. But honestly and truly, like I like what I like, you know. And if I can afford it, I'll definitely get it.
All right, and you, Kenny? Please don't tell me you're not going to answer that.
Well, man, I'll say it's my watch. But even the watch, I can tell you how much it costs, $500.
No, that's not true.
I'm so serious.
That's
Look at the
not
brand
true.
and Google it.
No. But you told me that you have shoes you bought for $900.
No. Oh, that was before. Oh, that's the old
Yes,
Kenny. Now I'm balling on a budget. So I'm on a tight budget, so you can't go out the budget. But no, it's just my watch, probably. It's 500, even 400 or something.
So you don't have, I should go into your closet right now, truthfully, Kenny. I'm not going to find any
What, a
expensive
belt?
fashion item.
Maybe a Louis Vuitton belt.
Okay.
But that one, I bought that 2010.
For how much?
I bought 3 at a go, so it was $2,000. Because I bought 3 pairs.
And one was how much?
That's when I was a fool. No, seriously.
All right.
But it lasted that long. But maybe besides my belt and on my watch. That's it, literally. I don't wear jewelry, nothing. I don't wear.
Right.
I'm a simple guy, simple. My glasses. I'll tell you the whole thing right now, the rundown.
All right, so we've gotten to know these personalities behind Afrochella. That's for our first part. Let's take a break right here and bring you the story about Afrochella. Right, so you're welcome back. I'm still here with the Afrochella Boys. If you just joined us, well, you've missed out on quite a lot because we got into their lives, their personal lives, and they've been wilding. But right about now, we're about to get into the Afrochella story. So has event organization always been your thing?
Yes, for me, yes.
Okay.
Same. With me, yes. I started doing events in college 2009, and I used to bring artists. So that's when I was saying I was a bad boy. I was. Now I'm grown up. Just a quick one. My parents used to send my tuition to my personal account. I always tell the story because like people need to know, like be honest with your parents. I need to say, now that I'm a father, I understand. But
Right.
so I used to put myself and two of my sisters' tuition on my personal account. And then I'll pay the tuition fees. And what I used to do was I'll pay theirs, but I had a scholarship, but I didn't tell them. So I was pocketing the money. So with the money, I used to flip it. So I flip it in a way as I used to bring artists. So I had like Day 26, Fabulous. Now the young kids, they'll probably don't even know who, Trey Songz, like different artists used to come to my campus. So what I used to do, I would use my tuition money to bring the artists. So 2010, everything was going well, business is booming. Then it was bringing Fabulous to the campus, and the venue was like, no, they don't want the words they use, I don't want to say on air, in their neighborhood or whatnot. So we had to change the venue.
What neighborhood was this?
Upstate New York, Utica.
Yeah.
So we had to change the venues or whatnot. So when we changed the venues, a lot of people requested for refunds, so we had to give them back their money. So I'm like, oh boy. But my sister's tuition was coming up. I had to pay the money because I did all the calculations. So as soon as the money come, boom, pay. Well, how life started. Then the school was calling, where's the money, where's the money? Ignore. Then they called my dad. I said, and he's like, but I gave my son the money. He's calling me too, ignore. I know what he's gonna say. He came all the way from Ghana to the US. Oh, Charlie. So, what's going on? Then he found out what was happening. So then he cut me off. He's like, nah, he's not paying for, because I had like a partial scholarship. He's not paying for the rest of the money. So it's either you drop out of school or get a loan.
Wow.
I was like, I have to get a loan. So then I got a loan and whatnot. And then, but with that, I gave up doing events like for 2-3 years after that. Like, I'm like, nah. It's not for me for what happened. But then one of our other friends, his name is Emmanuel, he was like, no, you have to come back. You have to come back doing events and stuff. And we actually started a group called Akaba US.
Okay.
That too.
Well, you took inspiration from Akaba UK?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it didn't go well. I'll call you.
All right.
But then that's when we came to Ghana. We started doing events as well too. But he was doing his own events too in the Bronx.
Yeah, so we had there was a time in the U.S. when we were in high school, so that like a bunch of young groups were coming together, Ghanaians also, and were putting together groups, and they wanted to do parties, in New York, and we threw one of the first ever in Manhattan. We were like so young. I think we were still in high school. We were able to kind of make, I think the first party we made about $10,000, and we was just like, as kids in high school, we had never seen that type of money before, so it was very, very exciting. And then when I became a part of a fraternity in college, I was challenged to do a lot of events, and that's when I understood how to project manage budgets, how to write a budget, how to kind of, talk to guests when they're coming in, and how to bring them to campus. So that developed a passion in me of like, being able to get funding and get an event from the beginning to end. And then when we started doing Aquaba US, we became a part of a collective called the Big Five. And that collective was focused on figuring out a way to highlight Ghanaian and African culture in New York City and in the US. And it was through that, us, Aquaba US, we tried to do a partnership with Aquaba UK where we would be their US arm and invite people in from the US, similar to what they were doing in the UK. We did a couple parties here and there, but
it didn't quite. We'll get into those parties, but yeah, for now.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, I've been doing events.
Oh, so you weren't even part of the collective?
So at that time I wasn't, right? So I was like my own individual, just doing my thing. I think it started for me in Rochester, right? Where I was like doing like house parties for like all these white people, right? They'll pull up, you have a crazy party. What I used to do is like every guy that comes in pays $5, all girls are free. So every time, like,
yeah, the girls always get it free.
Of course, yeah. Like, so every time, like, my house party was super packed, right? I think that's the first time I actually saw that there was like a business behind like what we were doing. The next part is like every time I used to come to Ghana in December, I used to throw house parties in December too. Like maybe 500, 800 people at the time. And that was just a fun. I'm just in town, like, okay, cool, come through, let's just do this party. You remember that? So it was like, yo, I remember at that time, my mom was like, yo, like, we used to hold it down too. So it was like, yo, get mad bottles, all these friends that couldn't like go outside and buy bottles and stuff like that. It was in the house. So if I did a house party, everybody's over there, right? Then I met Abdul. So this guy knew the business what I was doing. I'm not gonna lie. So like when I met Abdul, I'm not gonna lie, he actually showed me a business side to like what I was doing for fun. You know what I mean? In terms of like, yo, we used to do these things like for free, just come in here, drink for free, do everything for free. And he was like, nah, yo, bro, like this is what we do. You know what I mean? This is Afrochella, this is what we do. So we could definitely pull this out. So I mean, for me, I've been doing events, but I feel like with this collaboration and learning from ourselves and like figuring out what our strengths are and like our weaknesses are. Yeah, I think that's what I'll take from it.
I see. So now let's get into the famous Shiny Beach event. That's supposed to be one of the events you guys organized before Afrochella, right? Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I mean, Kenny had thrown a very successful Easter event. I think it was for Net 2. For Net 2, and it had about 20,000, 40,000 people out there. So, Kenny came, he showed us the videos. We all was like, oh, what? This is what you did? This is how much we can make? Oh, yes, let's do it. So I told you about the collective Big Five. We got everybody, all the teams to invest in what we were doing. And for a lot of those guys, they were Ghanaian, but it was their first time in Ghana in a very long time. So we put together the event, but there were so many things that now that I think back on that we do for Afrochella that we just didn't know, right? First, we didn't know that the 26th December is not a beach day. So trying to do an event at the beach would just be embarrassing, right? So there were nuances that we had to learn about Ghana as well. Even though we were from there were certain things that we just didn't know. So that was one of the things that we learned. Our marketing wasn't as robust as we thought it was. And we didn't have a lot of funding to start the event. Literally, honestly, now that I think back on it, we were very lazy about that event. We were trying to just capitalize. And sometimes that's one of the things that separates Afrochella from anything we've done before, because there was
purpose. Intentional about it.
Yeah, it was intentional. There was purpose behind it, and I learned those. For me personally, there were lessons learned from that event. Out of that event, the most successful part for me were the talent that were on the stage. They weren't very big artists, but they were so talented. They were so talented. So even though the crowd was empty, I watched the entire show from beginning to end, and I was like, wow, these people, there's opportunity here for these rising talents, for us to do something that highlights them. Because even in Ghana, when we talk about our artists, a lot of people tend to talk about the top ones, the top 3 or the top 4 or 5 people, but nobody really mentions some of these rising talents that exist. And that was what I took from that component, and so it just made sense that how do we kind of create a space around talent like this, to make something successful. It was the beginning stages to the ideation of what will become Afrochella.
So it's right for me to say that your failure with that event birthed this event that has become, you know, one of Africa's biggest.
Yeah, absolutely. We was discussing it at his house actually, because I think we were going through we was going through the postmortem of what went wrong and what could have went better. And I'm like, you know, like I just think it needs to be a festival. Like I told.
So whose idea was Afrochella?
It was mine. Yeah.
It was your idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just think it needs to be a festival. There needs to be other components that need to, make it attendable for people, right? I mean, everybody can throw a concert, but a festival is not easy. And I think when we started Afrochella, there weren't a lot of festivals. There were like big ones that everyone knew about, like the Home War Festival or Charlie Wote, Things That Nations. But those guys didn't exist when we came out with Afrochella, right? So,
I'm just saying.
you know.
They were being petty now.
No, it's true. In 2017, they didn't really exist. Like, we opened the doors for other ones to be created. And I think that was my point, right? Us being able to have the audacity to create that allowed for other people to say, well, I could do that too. And we always anticipated that would be the case.
Right.
It was part of our SWOT analysis.
And have fun until next time.